I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. According to Britannica, quote, Project Paperclip, or Operation Paperclip, was a U.S. government program that sponsored the post-World War II immigration of German and Austrian scientists and technicians to the United States in order to exploit their knowledge for military and industrial purposes. Project Paperclip itself lasted less than 2 years, but similar programs continued until 1962. Ultimately, approximately 1,500 German and Austrian professionals and their families were relocated to the United States, the majority of them going on to become U.S. citizens. All of these German and Austrian scientists and technicians, regardless of the program into which they were recruited, are commonly said to have been part of Project Paperclip. Project Paperclip was one of many ways in which Allied forces extracted, quote, intellectual reparations, end quote, after the conquest of Germany. Gaining control of the human sources of advanced technical knowledge was a logical Allied priority in the final year of the war, as it became clear that the defeat of Germany was imminent and would predate the defeat of Japan. With this situation in mind, the team of German and Austrian scientists and engineers who had developed the highly advanced V-2 rocket system abandoned their chief research complex and deliberately put themselves in the path of approaching Western Allied forces. After being captured on May 2, 1945, the entire team was transported to the United States as part of Project Overcast and given facilities to continue their research, which was considered vital to the U.S., quote, national interest, end quote, because it had the potential to accelerate the defeat of Japan. The U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff created a special subcommittee to oversee the further acquisition of German information and personnel, the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, or JIOA. Because the name of the project had been publicly known and even discussed in the press, all future immigration of German and Austrian scientists and technicians to the United States occurred as part of a newly named operation, quote, Project Paperclip, so named for the paperclips that held together the many pages of information about the scientists possessing more problematic pasts during the Nazi era. Japan's defeat did not alter the opinion of American military and industrial decision-makers that contracting German and Austrian scientists and technicians and bringing them to the United States was in the national interest. On the contrary, something of a competition developed between the U.S. and other Allied powers. The British, French, and Soviets were all known to be actively recruiting such experts, who they believed would be able to advance their interests in a variety of ways, both militarily and industrially. German and Austrian professionals facing the prospect of uncertain employment in a devastated post-war economy were generally eager to accept such offers. American personnel on the ground reported that, short of putting such experts under guard to keep them in Germany, which actually did happen on occasion, they had no way to prevent other countries from exploiting the experts' knowledge. Responding to this competitive pressure, the U.S. State War Navy Coordinating Committee, or the SWNCC, in coordination with the JIOA, developed Project Paperclip. The final version of the project appeared in Directive SWNCC 25722 and was approved by President Harry S. Truman on September 3, 1946. It allowed U.S. military departments to sponsor the immigration of, quote, chosen, rare minds, end quote. Project Paperclip was not given carte blanche. Experts selected by the program had to be screened by the JIOA, and according to official policy, anyone who had been more than a nominal member of the Nazi Party was to be excluded. The ethical and moral concerns of the project were immediately obvious to many within the U.S. government. Some considered these experts to be a national security risk given their change in loyalty. Nevertheless, U.S. policy at the time called for pressure to be put on other countries, particularly those in the Americas, to repatriate Germans who had fled their country. At the same time, denazification policies in the U.S.-occupied sector of Germany set a notably higher bar than Paperclip. Indeed, Samuel Klaus, the U.S. State Department representative in the JIOA, demanded background checks on Paperclip candidates, so thorough that he was widely believed to be deliberately delaying the implementation of the program. When news of the project was released, there were protests from prominent public figures in the United States, including Albert Einstein and Eleanor Roosevelt. Nonetheless, the increasingly urgent sense of competition ultimately led the State Department to back down and issue visas to designees of Project Paperclip. As the Cold War developed, it was increasingly used as the core justification for Project Paperclip. In 1946, the Soviet Union had carried out its own version of the project, called Operation Osovyachim, and it continued to contract experts in the Soviet-occupied portion of Germany. In 1948, Senator Harry F. Byrd of Virginia wrote an article in which he publicly defended Project Paperclip in utilitarian terms, arguing that giving up invaluable knowledge to the Soviet Union because of moral qualms related to the holders of that knowledge would be foolish. Many of those who came to the U.S. through Project Paperclip and related projects achieved great success. The most famous is likely Wernher von Braun, the scientists who had led to the development of the V-2 rocket for Wehrmacht, and who played a prominent role in the U.S. space program. After completing the government contracts that had brought them to the U.S., many other scientists and engineers who had come to the U.S. through Paperclip went on to have profitable careers in the private sector. While Project Paperclip scientists and engineers were said to have unwillingly joined the Nazi Party, solely as a condition of securing employment in the Third Reich, the truth proved to be far more complicated. There were numerous instances when the U.S. military staff covered up information about the backgrounds of former Nazis who the Americans had determined would be national security assets. To achieve scientific success in the Third Reich, it had often been necessary to demonstrate loyalty to the regime and to develop close relationships with Adolf Hitler's inner circle. Moreover, weapons factories and labs that had conducted experiments in Nazi Germany had employed slave labor. While experts recruited through Project Paperclip often said that they had been ignorant of the breadth and criminality of the slave labor and concentration camp system, their claims were questioned by later analysts. Some infamous cases came to light in which Nazi experts who had acted as persecutors had been granted residency in the United States or had been allowed to enter the country through Paperclip. One of the most notable examples was Otto Ambros, a German chemist and a convicted war criminal, who had at least twice been granted visa waivers to visit the United States. Investigative journalism in the 1970s led to a series of hearings on Project Paperclip in the U.S. House of Representatives, which concluded that American military leaders had made morally bankrupt decisions on the ground of national security. Partially as a result of the hearings, in 1979, the Justice Department opened the Office of Special Investigations, or the OSI. Its mission was to find and bring to justice any Nazi war criminals who were living in the United States. While the OSI did not bring to trial any of the scientists or engineers involved in Project Paperclip, its investigations did lead to a deal under which Arthur Rudolph, who had been a National Aeronautics and Space Administration executive and a close collaborator of Braun's, left the U.S. permanently and surrendered his American citizenship to avoid prosecution. The legacy of Project Paperclip remains the subject of debate and investigation to this day. The moral and ethical questions it has raised about complicity, accountability, and necessity are difficult to answer. Did the V-2 development team's awareness that their rockets were being built through slave labor make them fully complicit in war crimes? Records indicate that Braun himself went to Buchenwald concentration camp to recruit skilled prisoners to work on his rockets. Apparently, however, he treated such prisoners respectfully. For his part, Rudolph maintained his innocence of war crimes until his death, insisting that he had advocated for improvements in prisoners' living and working conditions, and had even helped them get increased rations. The breadth and depth of these men's knowledge of and participation in the systemic war crimes being committed around them is difficult to gauge objectively, but the fact of their knowledge and participation is inarguable.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it, get after it. Get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack